Okay, so this week we're going to talk about the third block that you might have that is blocking you from receiving the money and the abundance that you desire, and that you might not even realize it. And this is your words. So when we say things in regards to money, especially if it's something negative, you are actually pushing the abundance away from you. So every time that I was very aware of this. This weekend we were in a cute little town, and it's like a touristy town, and so they have lots of great little shops. And just hearing people constantly, everything they picked up, like, wow, that's way too expensive, but I can't believe how much that is, and yeah, we're not getting that, that's too much. And just this constant statements of how things were too expensive and how we couldn't afford it, or they couldn't afford it. So I want you to be very, very careful with the words that you choose when you're looking at something. And if you look at it and you do feel like it's overpriced, maybe it's not the amount that you would want to spend for that particular item, I want you to reframe your thinking around that. Because by complaining and putting this idea out there, you are actually pushing it further away. You are pushing money away. You are pushing the abundance you desire away. So every complaint doesn't just have like zero impact, it has a negative impact. Okay, so if you don't want to push it away, you have to be very intentional about how you think and respond to the cost of different things. Another great example is gas. I don't know about you, but my entire life we have been programmed to discuss the price of gas, and never in a positive way. It's always, I can't believe how much gas costs. I'm like, oh, can you see how much this is now? Oh, we can't drive here or there because the gas costs so much. Like, it is a constant discussion on the price of gas. It's just one of those things. But at the same time, when you think about it from a gratitude perspective, right? Like, wow, we have these amazing vehicles that are able to run on this product, this gasoline, and we are able to go anywhere we want using our cars that run on gas. And so maybe we can look at it from a more positive perspective and have more gratitude just for the service, for the gas, and for the product itself, instead of immediately going to complaining about the cost of it, right? And you can always find ways around. You can get hybrid vehicles or electric if you want. Like, there's always ways around as well. But that's just another example of how our words are constantly making a difference as to what we're bringing in and what we're blocking. So when you go to a store, this is especially important with kids, right? How many times were you told, or have you maybe told your kids, if you're a parent, no way, we can't afford that. That's too expensive. No, we're not getting that. No, we're not getting that. We're not. It's just like a constant, like, that's too expensive. We can't afford it. That's too expensive. We can't afford it. Like, this programming is being said over and over and over. So we got to pay really close attention to this. So let's try to rephrase that. Let's think of a different way to put it. Instead of saying that's too expensive, look at it from an empowered state of like, that is not where I choose to spend my money right now. That is not something that I'm choosing at this moment. It's not because I can't afford it. It's just that is not something I desire at this time. That is not something that we need right now. That is just not something that I want to spend our money on at this time. Right? So just finding new ways to look at it and think about it so that you're not constantly putting that negative spin on it, that it's just far too much, it's too expensive, can't afford it, we'll never be able to do that, we'll never be able to go here, or like they want to take a trip or something like that. And it's like, well, I could never do that. I heard another person. It's really amazing when you start paying attention to it. I was at where was I? At a hospital getting some tests done, and a couple of workers were talking to each other, and one of them was talking about a trip that she had just taken. She just came back from Europe, and they're chatting, and she's talking about how she had a great time, but she's readjusting to the time zone, whatever. So she walks away, and the other two start talking, and they're just like, oh, that sounds amazing. I wish I could go to Europe, but I could never afford to do that. No. As soon as you say that, you are 100% right. You can never afford to do that. So you have just solidified your fate that you will never be able to afford to take that trip to Europe. So instead, say it in a different way. Find another way to say, like, oh, I would really love to. I would like to set up a plan, or I would like to, try to make it happen by the year of 2028 or something like that. Or like, I'm going to start working for this, and I'm going to start working towards being able to do that. And I, just look at it from a more positive way. If this is something that you really, really want, if you want to take that trip to Europe, how can you make it happen? Right? So just reframe the way that you say things. It's second that it's amazing when you start to notice this, how much you will hear those words trying to come out of your mouth. Like, oh gosh, I wish I could do that, but could never afford it. Or you drive past somebody who has a really nice car that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you immediately go to a place of judgment. Like, oh, that must be nice. So good for them. I'll never be able to afford that. And once you say that, you are absolutely right. You won't be able to. You have put a stop to it before it was ever a possibility. So you've got to be very careful with the words that you choose, because these words are connected to your thoughts, they're connected to your beliefs, which we're going to get into a little bit next week. So a little preview of next week. But I just want you to start thinking about this and write down in the comments, where are some of these things that you find you're automatically saying, that you're just spitting out there without even thinking twice about it, or you hear your spouse say it, or you hear your kids start to say it now because they've been programmed, or you remember hearing it when you were a kid, and like all of these things. Pay attention to the people around you. When you're in a store, listen to what people are saying. So much of it is like, wow, that's really expensive, or that I can never afford, or it is incredible. Or when you go to a restaurant and you're looking at different meals on the menu, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I won't be getting that. That's really expensive. We'll get the hot dog or something. It is really incredible how much we are judging everything based on the price and then the way that we are talking about it. So we're putting this huge block up, and it's not only stopping us from getting it, it is pushing us back away from the abundance and prosperity that we so desire. So really pay attention to this. It's going to take a while to probably start to reprogram these things and change what you say, because you've probably been doing it your whole life without even realizing it. So give yourself grace. Don't expect instant changes. I still catch myself sometimes, and I'm like, oh, hold on, let me reframe that. Let's change how we're going to say that right there. So really start to pay attention. It's so crucial and so key. I hope this is very helpful for you. This is our third really big main money block that might be stopping you from getting the abundance you desire. So if you want to hear the rest of them, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you are caught up and you get notifications when each of the new videos come out. And until next time, expect prosperity.